Howdy everyone, and welcome to the stream. A little chaotic today. I'm a little late, so let me just make sure everything is in order. I hope y'all doing all right. Let's see, let me pop out that. Today, I just released a video, and a little heads up, I spent most of the last night working on it. So today's a little chaotic, but we're going to be working on the pets. We're going to be continuing the pet stuff that we did before. Last stream we set it up so that you can breed the pets. Like you can place the eggs, you can hatch the pets, and then you can breed them together. It'll create an egg, and then that egg will then that egg closes that loop or whatever. Unfortunately, wait. I'm not even streaming. I'm not. There we go. Okay. Don't know how much of that was or was not live. So I'm just gonna describe it all again because it looked like nothing was live there for a while. So here. Yeah. Let me pop that out. Okay. So yeah, don't know what's up with that, but we'll get it going. So I just uploaded a video here about half an hour ago, a little over half an hour ago. So things are a little hectic. I spent most of the last night working on it, and only had about 3 hours of sleep. So we're rolling with the punches today. I'm gonna try to do some coding. We last episode we worked on a breeding mechanic so that you can get pets, you can spawn them from an egg and create them that way. So we're going to try to continue that. If I get to unfocused, then we'll probably switch to some drawing or something. But we should be good because I'm feeling a little energetic. Not feeling too bad. So I'm going to open this up. It wasn't ready to go, so it might take a second to warm up and everything, but we should be good. We'll get this up and we'll see where we're at. Things might be a little crazy because like I said, I just made that video. Typically when I make a video, I'll change some things and things get broken. I don't think I had to change too much this time, so we should be good. I'm gonna show you. So we have this for here, and I did add in a debug variable to restore because I disabled the hatching animation. Bro, you early. Well, not me. I'm late. I was several minutes late. But yeah, so I put in the hatching animation again. And I have a debug variable. I'm going to disable that real quick for debugging purposes so we don't have to sit there and wait for it all the time. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to plan for this one either. So it is still up in the air about what we're going to be doing exactly. But I should be able to show you this in a second. I did work on some of the genetic stuff off stream or whatever. So last episode we did the egg hatching and the passing on of the parents, and you'll be able to reconstruct a family tree this way for what it's worth. But it does keep a reference to the parents whenever the eggs have a reference to the parents. Howdy souls, welcome to the stream. Howdy Andre Mayer, welcome to the stream. So we've got the egg, we place it. I disabled the hatching animation, so now it's instant. We don't have to wait for it. We get the little baby one this time, so that could be broken. But if you interact with it, you'll get this little pop-up. It'll go away right now because there's a little pin thing. I'm gonna wait for that, but you can pin it, and so you'll have it there just in case you ever want to see exactly what's going on with it. Now this is fake; it's a mock-up, but we're gonna be doing. We might be doing affinity today, and then we have attributes, and these are actually hooked up. So this particular pet has 15 strength, 11 vitality, 9 agility, 8 wisdom, 11 charm, and it has agile and charming. And we have pet traits that are implemented already. And what pet traits are is they're like character traits. So if you open up character creation, you have these traits here. And so you'll have like agile +3. Pets have these too, the different ones. I just reused that name, so it might be confusing. But this will give you +1 agility. And the way this works is, by default, they're going to have a max stat. Pets will probably be 12. And then through breeding, you might be able to get it up to 15 or 20. And then if you want to push it even further, you would get one of these traits. And so a trait, an agile would give it a +1. And if two agile, or if when you breed, there's a small chance for that to get upgraded up to level 5. So it's agile 1. If when you're spawning, it's only going to be 1. And then as you breed, there's a small, tiny little chance that it would get upgraded. And if you breed two agiles together, you have a much greater chance of it getting upgraded. And then that will snowball, sort of like a pyramid, kind of, I think. And so you can have up to agile 5, which would give it +5 agility. So for this one, he has 8 base agility. That would give him, I'm not great with math, I think it's 13. It would give him 13 agility. If you did through breeding and we did like a 12 cap on agility, you'd have 25 agility, which is pretty dang good. Now that, agility is depending on what you're needing. We're going to have different, so these are pets, the companions that can follow you around. So it could be a combat companion. You might want to have strength or vitality for the health. We might have some, of course the whole deal with this game is there's a lot of non-combat stuff as well. Breeding one with some mutation variation as well. And that goes for the attributes as well. The attributes get, whenever two Borkers love each other and they make a baby, their attributes get passed on. So the way that works is, I can show it here. Should be in pet data. And so that works here. I just remind myself, because I make sure this works the way I expect it to. Might be this one. No, it's traits. And if I remember correctly, the way it works is like you have the base attribute. I don't think I've done the upgrades for these yet, but when they breed, it'll set the max stat, and then it'll go through and have a chance to downgrade it per increased based on the lowest stat. So if you're breeding an agility 5 and an agility 1, there's a really good chance it's going to downgrade to like an agility 3 or something like that. So ideally you want to breed an agility 4 with another agility 4 to get a 5. The chances of upgrade is pretty good. I think it's a maximum upgrade of 75%. These are not balanced. We just have these to start with. So that's where we're at with that. Yeah, and then like I said, I made this the little HUD thing. It'll let you see everything. We don't have an affinity yet, but you can work with that. Now, so that's how. Now we have different. For right now, we have the traits that are with the stat attributes. Hey, been a subscriber to yours for a few years. I think it's awesome to see you still passionate about this game and still implementing cool mechanics. Love to see it. Thank you, Hangry. I very much appreciate that. I absolutely love working on this game, so it's a honor to be still so passionate about it. Like every day, I'm having the time of my life. Relax, I'm here. I appreciate you being here, Rivers. What was I saying? Oh, that. So we have the traits we have now correlate with the attributes that we have, and so that's the only ones we have now. But there will be more. So you could have an intimidating trait that would boost your intimidation score. So like this game has some social stuff to it. You'll have skill checks, and one of those skill checks could be intimidation. And so, howdy Benji, welcome to the stream. We love you too, GE. Appreciate your time. And so we'll brainstorm a whole bunch of those different traits some other time. If y'all have any ideas, throw them at me. Don't think we're going to be. Well, I mean, my traits are kind of easy to do. And like I said, I've only had 3 hours of sleep since last night. So we'll see how this goes. But it's looking good. Okay. So that's where we are right now. I think I've caught y'all up. The breeding and the mutations and the UI. And then I spent a whole lot of time working on the video that I just relaunched prior to the stream. Okay. So, for one thing I'm going to do is We don't have this yet. Right now we're placing a baby Borker, and I did that for the devlog. We're going to be placing an adult for now, just so we can speed things up. Eventually I'll make a variable for doing that. We're kind of hard coding a lot of stuff, so we're really early in the implementation for this. So some things are really hard coded, but that's fine. So like right here, we're just hard coding a Borker. Any egg is going to spawn a Borker. That'll change obviously, but we can just change this to Borker, regular Borker. All right. If y'all have any ideas for things y'all want to see, let me know. Like I said, we're just rolling with the punches today. So I'm going to be doing this, and I think I need to change my, hold on a second. I need to change my, I have a debug key I was using to breed, I have an idea though, to breed pets here. And the way we're doing this here is, and this just happens whenever I push the X key. We're getting all the nodes in the tree, and then we're taking the top two, and that's always going to breed the top two. So what I think I'm going to do for the purposes of this stream is to take the last two. That way we can keep breeding. We're like even that's kind of chaotic. We're not going to have the results we want to have. I don't know. I might do something more intentional. Right now, there's no way to breed them. We can talk about ways to breed them. I have a few ideas. So we don't spawn these to get here. And what I'm thinking is, one, you can use an item. So maybe an item. It feels a little Minecrafty, but I'm thinking more like Final Fantasy. I think Final Fantasy used nuts or something that you could breed them with. And we could have different qualities of those items that do different things. So imagine we could just call them aphrodisiacs or something like that. And imagine they have different traits to them. So like you might give a Borker a certain attribute, if you wanted a certain attribute, you could give them a certain variant of a breeding item. That's one option. Another option is like, so when we interact with these people, like your student, thank you. It's tagged together. It's nothing too fancy. Yeah. So one of the things we could do is have, when we interact here, we could have options. Studio looks professional. Yeah. It needs to be done a little better. I just threw it together. We could have like some interaction. I've thought about different ways to do an interaction. I've thought about radial menus. We could have some buttons down here we could interact with. We want this to eventually be controller compatible, so that might not be the best idea. But for now, well, not for now. What I'm thinking is we could establish breeding partners. And so we could say, and this always is going to say whiskers no matter who's in here. We could say this person, we could establish it here. We could say set the breeding partners, and then they just always regularly breed with each other. And we could time that based on their affinity for each other. That could be interesting. So the more they like each other, the more often you'll get eggs that just spawn. Like you can come out here and you can find an egg that has those two breeding partners paired up together. We could do a checklist of total breeding partners if you don't want to be monogamous or whatever. That I could see that happening. Actually, no, it's a really good idea for like if you want to breed an array of different things. So that might be what we work on. And I just have to figure out how I want to do it. Like I said, we just have this right here. I don't think I want to do that. I think I just want that to be informational. So what I'll probably do is have a radial menu that'll pop up. And then you'll have like an inspect option that will pop this up. Or we could have the settings. We'll have different ones. Like we have petting that would raise their affinity for you. Maybe give food. I could see that. So yeah, so we'll probably have different things. Radial menu sounds like it would be the best thing to do. I'm not going to program on right now. I don't think that would be too exciting. But what I think I'm going to do, how would you design the radial menu in its pixelated style? That's a good question. It's something I've been considering myself. I've done trickier things. I think we could keep it simple. You'll notice I have some things. Like if I use this, you'll notice here there's a cooldown, and there's that little, it's like a little clock that runs around, and that's pixelated. And the way that works is by using talent display. Nope. Here, there's a sub viewport here, and so this uses, like if you were to take this out, I think it's this one. Nope. Right here. It's not a pixel version. It's actually quite smooth, but putting it in a sub viewport makes it pixelated. So we could work with that. That's one of my favorite tricks to use. And can have the different functions as buttons plotted on this mini Cartesian cross. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think. Okay, we might. Nah. I want to get working on breeding partners and getting the loop set up. Yeah. We might. Okay. I mean, we could sketch one up right quick. We don't have to make it pixel perfect or anything right now. No, you're fine. I love the back and forth. I think I understood you though. How are you doing this morning? I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. I spent all night working on that video, so a little tired, but we should be good. Okay. We mean we don't have to make it pixel. We don't have to make it pixel perfect right now. I'm absolutely going to make it pixel perfect later, but right now we could just get it functional. Get it functional first, make it pretty later. Trader, no, don't you dare call me a traitor. I'm not pixel perfect, but I adhere to it as closely as humanly possible. Not humanly possible, because I do like to cheat. That's good to hear. Looking forward to the video. I was binging all of yours. Thank you. I'm glad. I think this one's pretty good. Let me know what you think. I went with a different editing style, so let me know what y'all think of that. You know, it's new to me. I don't know if I overdid it or if it even really mattered or anything like that. You say that as I'm working in Inkscape myself, and the perfectionist is locked in right now. Great. Okay, can you do pixel perfect in Inkscape, or are we talking about something else? I think we'll go ahead and try to do the radial menu then. So what am I thinking? Let's open up the game so we can brainstorm this out. So we want, when we pop it up, we want the radial menu to pop up. What if, one of the things I've been thinking of is, what if we're here? I don't think we have to worry about that, because I'm the closest I ever get. Well, yeah, I think we should be fine. I can do math. We can worry about it later. What I'm worried about was, like, if we would interact with something here, and then the radial menu goes up to the top. But I mean, that's not a big concern for us right now. We can always fix that later. Oh, and the pets are gone. The pets don't save yet, so we'll have to keep that in mind as well. Okay. All right. So we need to make a little HUD for it. And that should just be a control. Let me pop the game back up and we'll see how big we want it. I'm thinking 48 by 48 sounds fine. No, I don't know why the game does that sometimes. It's really weird. Here. So 48 by 48. I think that sounds about right. What I'm going to do, can I render a circle here? Do I have a circle? No. Let me put a sprite. We're just going to try to get a visual for how big this is going to be. Nope. No way. Getting worse. All right. Then we can disable that. I think that's right. That might be. Yeah. Okay. And then let's just pop this up. We're gonna go radial menu. Put this here, I reckon. All right, and then when we interact with, it would be AI character. No, AI.gd. No. There it is. Case sensitivity. And when we interact with it, we're doing the pet stuff here. We can instead. Oh yeah. That's the pet panel stuff. If we say, we're going to say for radial equals radial menu here. We're going to add it to, I don't have any way of adding like one-shot elements like this to the HUD and managing it. So we're just going to hard code it for now. So we can say HUD dot get interface. No. Let me look at the HUD say right quick. See what we have. We'll just get node. Yeah. I like to put stuff in a thing right there. Oh, I've got a lot of this stuff up. Let me clear this out. I can do mathematically perfect. An Inkscape, haha, that's the graphics of the one. I have very limited experience in Inkscape. I use Inkscape for the logo of the Game Endeavor logo, and that was about it. So get node interface. And then we should just add child radial. And actually, no, we should do this cursor. Cursor to add child radial. The reason I say that is cursor just has some useful functions for us here. Okay, now let me open up cursor right quick and see what we got here. I have another one of these. This might get moved around. One of these does. I think it's this one. Yeah. So if we were to add to that, do we have a get cursor? Yeah. And that should return the, no, that's not what it returns. Okay. Instead, we'll say get cursor dot get child. Here. Super important question. Can we see Rex? Rex is, he's outside right now. Well, not outside. He's outside the room, but you can see a picture of Rex. I keep him outside whenever I'm streaming, or outside the room whenever I'm streaming, because he can be he can be a little distracting. Finally caught a live stream. I was playing the demo on my stream deck and noticed the UI was a bit off on the class selection. Yeah, Rex. Are you planning to optimize for handhelds in the future? In the future, yes. And it is not Steam Deck compatible. I need to check to see if I uncheck that, because I was originally going to make it controller compatible, but it is currently not. So it would be quite impressive if you could play it on the Stream Deck, but I don't think you'll have good chance with that. Godot just crashed because I renamed a node. Most reasonable crash reason in Godot ever. Godot crashes for very curious reasons indeed. All right, get child, get node. Excuse me. All right, so we get the cursor, add the child, and if we want to, like I said, we're just rolling with it. I would not do it this way normally, but we're just going with it. We're gonna set it to -24. Okay. And so that should pop up the little radial. We'll see how big it is. That's the main thing. It's going to follow the cursor. Actually, that's not a good idea. So we want to put it on the cursor and then place the position and then leave it, because it actually does not make any sense for it to follow the cursor. You'd never be able to click it. I'm going to add a border here as well, so we don't have to keep making one. It won't have a lot of the... Well, I deleted the one I did, so it might not. Yeah, we'll create a border. Oh. All right. So we'll place our little worker buddy here. And if we interact, seems a little small. I'm going to go a little bigger. All right. So I did 48, 64. I don't know what that would be in this size, so we're just gonna do that. Let me also, since I couldn't see through it, also lower this a little bit. Okay, now, like I said, the cursor, we'll go ahead and fix the positioning here. Cursor.addChild, radial, and then we will set the position here. So radial position equals cursor. Now I have a few different, these are poorly named functions, but I think it's cursor position and plus that. That should set it to where the head is on the cursor. Excuse me. I could just place an egg entity, so I don't have to keep placing that. No, so that's not correct. Make sure it's not over here. Cursor position. It's not world position, is it? No, it's not. It is world position. Okay. I need UI position. Like I said, poorly named functions. Try that again. Shouldn't need to restart. So boop, we get that. We'll probably put it right over top of them or something. I think that's fine. Okay. Now the reason we did that is because we want to start setting up some interactions. Instead of the cursor position. Well, yeah. I have a function here somewhere. What I want to do, I think, is get the position from the world. It's not important. It's not important. We'll write that later. And so I'll put it over top of the pet being inspected instead of just over top of the cursor. I think that makes more sense. But for now, that's fine. And so we're going to be creating a prefab for this. So we'll create this, and what we want to do is add options. We're just going to add simple stuff for now. So we'll just add item. Oh, excuse me. Add item. These will be icons. We'll need an icon. We'll probably need a tooltip. And then we'll want a function that gets called. Okay. So icon, texture. Well, yeah. This is fine. Texture 2D. Callback. Callable. And then tooltip. We're not going to do a lot of this. I'm just getting it set up. Void. I don't think I need to return anything for that. Okay. So. And so what we're going to do then is when we add an object, we're going to do this all at one time so we don't have to worry too much about animating. And so we want to spread the items around. So we'll say we'll do radius, and I think we went with 64. That was the total size. So that's 32, if I'm not mistaken. radius. And that should be mainly what we need. Now, as for spreading out, it'll probably be easier to do it as a sprite. Sorry, what's the radial menu for? Yeah, let me just... So the radial menu is going to be for interacting with the pet, because there's going to be a lot of different options you'll be able to do with it. Like inspect it, feed it, set up settings for it, like its breeding partner, that kind of stuff. Can't guarantee it'll stay, but it'll be good for debugging at least. So I'm thinking, you'll like 4 or 5 options or so. So like feed, I haven't really given any thought to how I want to do the feed mechanic. But like feed, inspect, or settings, and probably another one. I had like a pet, so you could like pet it and everything. Oh, Code of the Lamb has a radial menu for interacting with followers. If you want a reference, great. I'll check that out. Perfect. Can be full transparent even later. Yes. We'll do it proper later though, but that's just a little hack job. So yeah. So right now we're adding that. We're going to add the add item, which will allow us to set an icon, and then we'll have we'll have an items, and I think that's going to be an array of we're going to do like a ref counted thing. So you can be excited for that, and we'll say class radial item extends. I haven't done inline classes like this in a while, so you'll forgive me. I think it's done like this, and then we would want item name, not the name. Yeah. Tooltip. We'll do tooltip. Tooltip. Yeah, rough count mission. A very interesting game. We would appreciate it. Very great detour. I feel bad now, but it had to be done right. What are we detouring? If you're talking about the radial menu, then no, that wasn't a detour. That was one of the things I was wanting to get done. I want to do it off stream, but I didn't do it. But we're gonna need it for the more complicated stuff that we want to do anyhow. I mean, I suppose we could have just jumped into the menu or whatever, but that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So var icon. It won't take us long at all to set this up. Should not, at least. I would imagine. And var callback. Callable. That's just going to store data. Really is all that's for. And so we can just say var item equals radial item dot new icon callable tooltip. We'll have an init function for this. Icon text 2D callable. No, call back. I suppose callable would have been better, but it is what it is. And then tooltip. String. And we'll say icon equals icon. Basically, a little boilerplate stuff. Callable equal call back equals call back, and then tooltip equals tooltip. Hi, first time catching a stream of yours. How's this going? It's going pretty good. Yeah, we're working on a radial menu for the pet system. I'll show you in a little bit. First stream, you'll have to forgive me. I'm a little tired. So we'll create that there. That's what we need. Callable is not call back. I keep doing it. I'm just going to call it callable because I'm going to keep doing that forever into eternity. Boom. Sounds cool. Appreciate it. But we're doing pretty good work, I think. Just a little slower. Yes. So items.append. Okay. And then we're going to set these instantly. We're going to update it. Since we're going to be setting these all at once, we don't have to animate it. So actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say is update items. We can always call this later if we want to animate it. And we want to put this later on. And then what we'll do is where's our position now? We're going to have here. And we have that's our radius, right? 32. Okay. Any early release date in sight? I don't know that I'm going to do early release. I'm probably just going to launch it as is because there's a story to it, and like yeah, you'll go through everything, and I don't want to release it. People play like an early version of the story, and then so much gets changed to it, and they don't experience the later versions. I think some games have done story-based early releases, but I don't know. There is like the big factor of the game is the simulation sandbox element to it, but there is also a story like that most people probably play. So the way I develop it is it's an RPG with like the cool stuff as like the main focus of development, but I expect most people will probably play it as an RPG, if that makes sense. But the game's going to be in development. This is not an official ETA. I'm not, because Rule 8 on the Discord server is never trust my time estimates, but I expect development to take about 2 to 3 more years, give or take. We hit with finishing the demo. That is a big chunk of the vertical slice. So that's a lot of what you can expect to find. There's still some more simulation sandbox elements that I want to do. We're working on the pet system is one of them now. There's going to be a lot of stuff when you get to Velwyn. That's going to be as City in the game, and Darrington as well to some degree. That's going to have a lot of more of the open world feelings to it, like the sandbox stuff, where you'll interact with guilds. There's going to be more side quests and stuff like that. You'll do a lot of your commissions for your crafting specific items or items within I don't know what you call it, like completing orders, requests for items and stuff. A lot of that will probably be done through Velwyn. But what we have the vertical slice there, and that's a pretty good bit of it done. All right. Update items. So this is what this is going to do. It's going to iterate through and just set the positions. We can update them later. Got it. Thank you. The longer it cooks, the better it gets. I'm all for it. Thank you. Yeah, it's a really big game, so it's it's going to take a really long time. But I mean, I'm having the time of my life working on it. So I particularly am in no hurry, but I do want to get it out for people to play it. Like, this was exciting for me, actually getting people to play the demo. But I'm enjoying the development process. We're going to be doing a lot of live streams. I'm going to be doing more devlogs. We'll have a lot more interacting with the community, and that's the kind of thing that gets me excited. There might be, and I haven't decided on this exactly, but the Kickstarter might have an alpha backer thing, to where you could get I might do updates throughout development that backers can check out, if you're interested in that. And no guarantees that I'm going to do that yet, Joe. I still haven't sat down and decided exactly what I want to do for the Kickstarter, but I really like that idea of people being able to play a sort of, I don't know what you'd call a walled garden of the game, where it's you don't get to see all the story stuff, because I do want to keep that until release, but you might get to see some of the new features that get added to it as they happen. Maybe you'll get to see Velwyn early, and I just disable a lot of the story stuff. All right. So with the items, we're gonna have a radial item. We didn't. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I think I'm going to do these as sprites. It'll just be easier to manage. And I'm just going to have this note here. We'll just have these called items container. And we'll make that a unique name. And this is going to be what stores our stuff. Will be stored as sprite. Did you just summon and add? I did not. Did it do it automatically? No. I don't have it set up to do automatic adds, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know how to change it from here. Yeah, sorry about that if it did. Okay. Alright. So, we're probably going to have a special class for this, but for now we're just, might as well go ahead. Okay, so we'll have, it's going to be a button too. Okay. Texture button. So it's not going to be a sprite like I said, because I want to do buttons, that's fine, we'll just have a size. So radial menu button. And we'll have, do I want to do that? Yeah, I think we'll pass in, we'll have like different textures we can pass in for that. And we don't need anything for it right now. For later we'll have different connections for it. Let me go ahead and make a script for it though, just so I can give it a class name. Okay. Class name, radial menu button. That'll be here. So what's going to happen is we're going to add an item. We're going to create the radial item for it. Then we'll create the entity itself for the radial button. Oops. We'll preload this. Well, we'll do it here. Here. Alright, so then we can just instantiate the button. And we'll add it to the item container. Game Endeavor Live, welcome to the stream. Lucy, welcome to, let's see, add item, oh, it's, God, item container, dot add item, no, add chunk. Like I said, for those that just joining, I was up all night working on that video, so I'm a little tired. But we're plowing through it. Button. Wrong accent. A wrong account, excuse me. Yeah, it took me a second to recognize it. Let's see. Add button. And child button. And then we'll call update items here. No. We're going to call it like a dirty function. Yeah, I pulled it all nighter to finish that video. So it's a little rough day, but I'm excited. GG on the video, thank you. Or GJ, appreciate you. Alright, so we have our buttons here. And then we're going to say, what we're going to do is we're going to iterate through the buttons. We're going to count how many we have. Equals items.size. And so we can divide up a towel by this. So separation, think of a towel, divided by count. Man, I wish you could do this. I like coding, but I'm not good with pixel art. And then get you some asset packs on h.io. Those are some really good ones. Yeah, that's what I would do. I mean, I was terrible at pixel art when I started. So like anybody can learn it. It's not like a talent that only specific people can do. And like I have aphantasia, meaning I can't, like, I don't visualize things. So like if I can learn pixel art, I think anybody can, personally, assuming you've got the limbs to do it with. I wonder if they have, I don't know. But yeah, like so long as you're physically capable of drawing, I think anybody can learn to do it. Count, separation, tile divided by count. I think that's right. Yes. And then we have the radius that we're going to spawn it at. Get the Mystic Woods pack. That's good, I hear. I hear. So I hear. Get the, let's see, separation. Okay. All right. So we need to set the position now. Position is going to be, we're just going to do this as a variable. It should be, if I remember correctly, well, we're going to say vector2 and cos.x equals cosine of separation times the radius. Actually, we can do even better now. We have vector2 dot from angle separation times radius. And then we want to offset it because we have here, we want to offset it by radius. So it's times radius plus radius. Should get us where we want to be. So we can just there. And that should get us the position that we want. Is this a different project than your game? I see you got only 6 scenes, or did you hide them? That's just the ones that are open right now. I've got a whole bunch of things. This is the main game. So in the curse streamer. What about the radial menu origin? 0 in the button. 1 is. So like here, I could do this, if that's what you mean. That way we don't have to add the radius. Let me know if that's not what you mean. Okay, and then we can say, we need to get the button. Well, we're going to create a function to get the button because we might need that later. And that will just be item container dot get child. We want the IDX. IDX. If IDX is greater than 0, equals 0, and IDX is less than item container dot get child count, else no. Boom. And then we can say get button. All right. Nah, we ain't there yet. For IDX in count. And then separation times IDX, if I remember correctly. The position equals, and we're going to have to offset by the button's size. Yeah, which we'll do as a constant. I don't want to hard code that again. Get button position equals position, right? Which we could probably just do that here. Plus radial. Let me tell you what. We'll get the button here, just in case we want to have a specific different sizes for them. I don't think we're going to, but it can't hurt. Or move the circle itself onto the origin of the graph. Where the you could, but I don't think that's how controls are typically done, and I don't think it would hurt anything, but still. Yeah. button dot get size. Actually, yeah, that should just work on its own, because I think we already have that. And I'm going to add a color rect just so we can see these. And the size I'm going to go with probably 16 by 16. There. All right. Container. We're going to change this to a control, and which we'll have to change this here as well. All right. So where are we at? We add the item. Well, I need to call the updates item. In which case, it will iterate through the buttons, set the thing from the get size divided by 2. That should be fine. I'm going to say 30 equals false, so that when we call this, we can say if is items dirty, return else is items dirty equals true, and then we're going to await here. Yes. No. We'll do it here, because I want this to update as soon as we call it the first time. So await. Wait. We can just say get tree dot physics process frame connect set items dirty bind false. We'll have to make a function for that right quick. Yeah. Nah. And we'll say is items dirty equals value. Radial menu is great to get done. Really can reuse this everywhere. Anywhere we need a radial menu, yes. I can't think of anything else where we need one though, but you know, things can always pop up. This is so interesting. I've wondered how you make a radial menu before. I'm glad you like it. Good to hear that it's interesting. I wasn't so sure. It's just a little bit of math. I've never made one myself either, so we're all learning something today. This is just so we don't update it multiple times, because we're going to call this update every time we add an item. We're going to add a bunch of them. We're going to add like 4 or 5 of them at one time. We don't want to call update for each and every time, so we're just going to say if we've updated this frame, don't update it again. Wait, that's wrong though. No. Yes. Yeah, that's not going to work either, because I'm updating it once, and then we're not updating it for anybody else. But I don't want to delay the update, because, like I said, we're going to add a bunch of these, and then we're going to show them. And if we delay an update, then there's going to be a frame where nothing's going to be proper. So, for now, I'm not going to call it here. I'm going to manually call it myself after I add the items, and I'll figure out the logistics of how to do that properly later. Okay, so radial, wait, that was all in the menu. Correct. Add items. Okay, so we're going to go back to our AI buddy here. We have instantiated the radial menu. We've added it to the child. We've set the position. We want to say, we haven't set any of the data yet. So we'll say radial.add item. And the first one, we're just going to say null for these. And then callable. The first one we're going to do is like fuck pet feed. Do we have an interactor here? Yeah, we'll do it here. And what are we setting for? Node 2D. We're just going to create some code stub functions here. Haha, that nod. Yeah. Let's see. func pet. Pet. I don't have a better name for that. This will be where you actually nut the where you actually pet the node. The pet, excuse me. We're going to pass on that. And then the main reason we're here, we're going to say pet settings interactor node 2D. Okay, so add items. Oh, and we want to inspect as well. Func pet inspect interactor node 2D void. All right, radial add item null. Then we're just going to add a bunch of these. Pet feed dot bind interactor. And then we're going to set a default for no tooltip for now. Okay. All right. So radial add item pet feed radial add item pet. And I'm just going to copy this. Radial dot add item. This will be the settings. Pet settings. And radial dot add item. Pet inspect. All right. So that'll add our items. We're not. We have the button here. We're not doing anything with the button, but it should still work. We'll see if that works. All right, so we get our pet. And that does not work. Why? I also don't have a way to close the thing. Okay. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to say cursor function add radial. Nope. What is it called? Did I not give it a class name? Class name radial menu. Nope. We'll create a function here, and we're going to keep a reference to this so that we can check it for things like if a cutscene starts, if the window opens, if you press escape, anything like that. And HUD is handling our key presses. Here, and we have a specific thing. I think it's this one for when we press escape. We have here, if we do it here, then it closes everything. If we do it here, and there's no, and there are windows, then we close them just in case. Okay. So we won't, we're just going to add a couple utility functions here. Has radial. And then close radial. We're just going to call a close function here because we'll probably animate the closing at some point. Oop. And we'll do a higher up here. Okay. Then we can say here, if we have windows, close them. If we have content, this is stuff like if when you click an item in the inventory, or if you click a talent with the sticker. I think we'll do that one for after here. Do else if cursor.has radial. cursor dot close radial. I might actually get that to work up. Cursor's not updating, so we'll restart. Alright, so we launched this guy here. Alright, and that did, it did not work. Alright, let me see why. Because I never set the thing. Well, yeah, because I never set the thing. We're just going to set it here for now. We'll probably give it a positional thing, pass in a position here and do that. But for now, that's fine. Oh, we also want to just set a function here for one, so we unset the variable. Actually, yeah. Okay. We're going to do it here. We need to make sure we don't there. We'll need to disconnect as well. I have signal utils here for connecting signals, just so I don't have to do a lot of if checks and whatnot. No. Set radial. Gotta go see it. Stop. Thank you for dropping by, Benja. Object. Menu. Oh. Dot tree exiting. All right. Now what's your problem? It's signal. Oh, oops. All right. And then we'll do the same here. Okay. That's just to clean up the signals and everything, to make sure we would just get rid of everything. And then we'll set radio here. Boop. That should hopefully work. Okay, great. Now to figure out why the update function is not working. Let me just look at this. So we count items.sign separation town divided by count. That is correct. Or is it no? Yes. And I need to make sure I have items, but that is what it is. For IDX account, get button position equals from angle. Is the mouse cursor movement getting locked? No. You want to be able to move the... Oh yeah, that's a good point. You want to check that delta and everything. We'll do that later. We're just setting this up for debugging purposes. In fact, I probably shouldn't have spent all this time on it. I didn't think it would take this long, but it is what it is. We're just trying to open up a menu for the settings. Oh. If it takes too long, we'll just skip it. But I think we're almost there. From angle separation times IDX. Is that not correct? What if I get rid of this? I'm just going to see what happens. I don't think that's not the answer, but wait. Well, we want to minus for 1. Vector 2 dot from angle separation times by the x. Oh, wait. No, that's not it either. Here, let me just step through it. var angle. We're just going to check. We're going to step through the code, see what these values are. If this doesn't sort it out, we'll just go ahead. Yep. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, because stupid me never called the function that I said I was going to call. Like I said, we're calling this here. It's not going to be how we typically do it. We're just trying to get this up and running. No, it's radial. Radial dot update items. There we go. And there we go. Great. What's interesting? Cool. Yeah. We'll want to reduce that radius. No, don't do that. Whew. Want to reduce that radius a little bit. But yeah, that's the general idea. And so we should be able to. It's appearing on top of the cursor. That's a fine. I can just say radial or cursor dot move child radial 0. There. Beautiful layout. Yes, it's perfect. And now we want it to be a little closer in. We'll figure that out later. We're not trying to make it pretty right now. But we'll get these buttons and we can click on them and they'll do stuff. They might already do stuff. No, they don't. Because we're creating the buttons here. Then we want to say button dot pressed dot connect callable. I like that it extends over the edge of the menu instead of being squished inside of it. I don't think we'll keep it because I'm not too keen on it. The way this is done is it should go right to left. I might change it to go top clockwise. But right should be feed, down should be pet, left should be settings. So if we click here, that doesn't work. Oh, because I've get well. No. Okay, let me do this. Step through here. We've got our callable. I assume you'd have the first interaction at 12 o'clock if that's what you mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. Right now it's not set that way though. Right now it's the rightmost is the first interaction. Unless the button press is not getting called. That's possible. Ah, probably because of that. Oh, man. That's it. Yeah, I did. And it would be this one. Great. Amazing how quickly changes compile. Yeah, it doesn't take long at all. Yeah. All right, so that is functional. Now what we can do, is say var settings icon I've never done it this way, but I should be able to say temp icon.new. Settings icon dot. Let me open this up right quick. I think it's that one. Yeah, okay. Is it? Okay, we gotta just rename this temporary icon. Open that back up. All right. So if we say size equals vector2, is it vector2.1? Yeah, excuse me. Vector2i. We'll go 16, 16. And the settings icon dot text equals settings. And then if I say update texture, settings icon dot update texture, and then we pass that in here, we should hopefully get an icon. No, I'm not setting the icon yet. Is your game managed by like an enum game state? If it is, I'm just curious what that looks like and what specific states you have. It has an enum state to identify what state it's in. And it's purely for identification purposes, I think. I don't think I'm using it for anything. And that's done in game, I think. I got a HUD. No, it's an abstract game probably. Yeah, so I just have a state menu gameplay and state play. And state menu is the title menu, I think. Might be other menus. And all that does is like it sets this when you're setting the state, I think. A few other things. But it's just for identification purposes, like if we go to HUD and like if game of state is in state menu, then close that. Yeah, I don't know why that's there. That's probably old code. I could probably check other places for it. This is the only place? Well, there's one here. Yeah, and so when the state changes in the HUD, like the game emits a signal when it changes, and the HUD listens to it. And so whenever it changes, it changes these two. What does that ever get called? Huh. Yeah. So yeah, all that does is clear the windows. Then it's not really that important. It's not like a fully fleshed out thing I've done. Just an old habit of mine from like a really, really long time ago. Okay, where was I? Radial menu. Add the item status settings icon. We need to set the icon here. And so if we say button dot texture normal equals icon, we should see it. Nope. Oh well. I tried. I'm surprised. Oh wait, I know the color. Rex probably hiding it. No? Oh well. An attempt was made. Okay. It is what it is. I'm not that worried about it. I know where the button is at, and that's all that matters. So that's a basic radial menu together. And way too long of a time to be honest. It took me way too long to do that. Alright. So then what we want to do is we want to create the menu for the interaction. What I'm thinking is I have a prefab for game menu. Do I want to create a full ass menu? Maybe. So I go game menu. It's not it. Not yet. Here. That's not what I wanted. Nope. We'll get there eventually. Yeah, I'll just open this up. Chess game menu, and it inherits from game menu. Okay, so we do add our own. I don't like that at all. Oh wait, I think I do have a. Yeah, I think I have a prefab for this. Okay, that's not so bad then. All right. So then, if I go to abstract game menu, make an inherit to scene. This was going to be pet management. Okay. We want that panel here. Right. And so this is where we're going to handle a lot of the pet stuff. Just got to figure out what we want to display here. So we want breeding partners. So change breeding partners. What are the basics? The basics are let me save. Well, that's what it is. All right. So the basics is you have your property. You'll get your eggs. You can either find these eggs in dungeons or you can buy them. You'll get your pets, and you want to get 2 pets, at which point you can start breeding them. And the way I'm thinking that we're going to do that is have like a breeding partner, establish breeding partners. Each property is going to have a limited number of pets, probably 6, 8, and maybe you can get like a stable that would extend the number of pets you could have. But you could have like 6 just out in the open. They could come inside eventually and just chill out in here. Probably have to put like a pet door or whatever. They don't get saved at the currently. I don't remember this backwards. Yeah. I'll get 2 of those. Alright, so you get your pets. And we want to be able to set their breeding partners. So they say this pet breeds with this one, and over time they'll generate eggs based on their fertility probably and their affinity for each other. We're going to create the radial menu. For this, you'll be able to feed pet settings. And just like a quick inspection, that will pop up that menu. We can go ahead and set that up actually. In fact, yeah. So we had here earlier, we were doing this. We can just say here. Like that. And then what I want to do is go ahead and go in the radial menu and we update items. We can just say angle plus minus 0.25 times tau. Actually, I didn't have to do that. Gecko, welcome to the stream, buddy. species, gender, diet, habitat traits, and flavor text for charm. Yeah, sounds good. So we put our pets here. Now, if we interact with that, we pop that, it should open our little quick trait, whatever. And then we want to click that for the menu, and we're just going to go ahead and open it. And we'll say var window equals, I think we could just say const pet window load pet management menu, and then we could just say HUD dot open window create set window. Yeah, okay. That's a terrible name. Well, you're this far into the pet system already? No, we're this is a lot of mocking up. We're not that far at all, to be honest. We're still pretty early until I didn't work on it much last week. I'm gonna try to get more work done on this week. We'll see. Either that or I'll work on another video. Okay. So set the pet window. Yeah, and that should just go ahead and create it. We should go ahead and see it. So if we click that, we'll get the little menu. We want to close the radial. Cursor dot close radial. Perfect. And this will have our more detailed stats for one. So we'll probably have a panel on the left for detailed stats. And then on the right, we can do our settings and stuff. Excellent. It'll look, or we could do it on the left, have our settings, and on the right be our detailed stats. So it'll look something like this, probably. We'll probably even do equipment. Like, it'd be cool like if it just looks something like this. Like we have our settings here, the pet equipment there, and then some more detailed stats there. Will pets have skill trees? I don't know about that. I don't think we'll do that. We're already getting pretty detailed with the trait system. But I could see a couple skills that you could inherit, maybe. I don't know how that would work across species. Well, we could do that. So so imagine we got our Borker here, right? And this is one of the things we said in the last stream, is like they want them to have different traits. Like this guy got any? I think it's this one. Yeah, so this guy's got agile, and they have traits to them and everything. And one of the traits could be like treasure hunter. So like if we go here, warp, river crossing, debug, Leakia cave. We come up over here. One of the things I want to do, stickers, pet stickers. I mean, that's a possibility. There's a little mouse hole right here. And we could have a pet run in there, dig it out, and like get some items from it or something. But they would have to have the pet, the treasure hunter trait. And like truffles would have it. So this is the first time you encounter it. And so you could interact with it, and truffles run up and get that. Or you could breed a pet for that ability. We could have ability for like some kind of a special attack. So that you could, if you wanted a pet with that special attack, you could breed them for that purpose. And that's actually be really cool. It might even consider skill trees. Because one of the things I'm considering is like, if you've ever played, I think it's Dragon Quest VII, whichever one Curse King is, they have this really cool feature where you can run around the world collecting certain monsters. There's very specific ones, but you can capture them and put them up on a little 3-monster team that'll fight other 3-monster teams. It's really cool. Like hunting dogs for ducks. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you going to make it so that 2 agiles produce an agile, a very agile, or a wild card? Yeah. So it's already implemented. If we head back, well, he's gone anyhow. So if we pulled up, I could probably pull it up again actually. If If I go to pet inspect, pet stat slider. I don't think this will change it. But what I think I can do is pin it, open the menu and close it. So if we look at that, we have the agile. That's agile 1. There's 5 levels of agile. So if you breed 2 agiles, you can get agile 2. Or there's a small chance of any breeding that will level it up. There's also a chance to downgrade it if you're breeding a high level agile with a low level agile, or an agile that doesn't, or a monster that doesn't have agile. Yeah. The pets, I mean, bringing it in the dungeons and they go around collecting drops and looking in nooks and stuff. Yeah, like you won't do the teams. You won't be bringing your teams in here. But yeah, I think you'll have one. You can have one accompany you. I'm thinking of getting like a pet collar item, like a rare item that you find like in the world somewhere, that would allow you to have 2 pets, or maybe a sticker or anything like that. But you won't be doing the teams. The teams will just be for the whole. It's going to be called pet wrestling or something like that. And it's just like cute little pets going rah 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 and fighting each other and doing their special abilities. And you don't control them. Like you might be able to like issue commands or something like that. We'll figure that out when we get there. But the idea is like you build a team, and their AI fight each other. And then like the purpose that you're doing is you're trying to build a team that would defeat the other teams, that kind of thing. That's the idea with that. And so we could have different traits that you would want desirable for your team. Kind of like a Pokemon thing. Kind of. Like Pokemon, you control the Pokemon. You tell them, do that attack or whatever. This is more like if you've never played, like really check it out, like the Curse King or whatever. They have a really cool mechanic. You get this guy. He kind of reminds me of Hercule from Dragon Ball Z. But if I go Dragon Quest, Cursed King. The only thing I remember about him is he says Gusto. Yeah, this guy right here. This guy right here is great. All right. Yeah, check that out if you have never done it before. It's a great feature. I don't think you control those either. You just build the team and then there's a turn-based combat thing for them. So they'll take turns doing it like you would in a regular fighting. And it's great. I love it. Okay. And I think you can level them up too. But most of our, like the pets have levels, but most of the customization is going to come down to the breeding mechanic. All right. Anyhow, warp, player home. Where are we at? So we have this here, and then this here. Yeah, and like I said, we'll have a panel here. One for customization, one for stats. We can go ahead and do that. Doop. Now, let me open up. What's time we got? Oof, about a half an hour before I typically close stream. And I'm looking for... So we'll probably just do a quick setup. Okay. I'm just going to take a look at how I do this here. I need to look at... Oh, and local. That's why. Okay, player panel. Here. This is the panel. We have the margin, the gradient. We can ignore all that. Then we have an H-bar, a separator, and we have the inventory panels here. And these are nothing fancy, just that. Okay. So we can throw together a quick idea of what we want. So we have our panel here. Oh yeah, this is a little different since it's done that way. If we go to chest, I'm gonna have to find it again. I think what's it say? Chest menu. Okay, chest game menu here. This is more closer to what we'll be doing. Same concept. We have our panel here. We placed our panel. I think we did that already. Then our margin. And then that. Let me just copy this and paste that. Then we can get rid of these. That should be what we need. All right. And then I'm going to grab this separator. All right, great. So now any panels we'll put here will be there. I hate doing UI, so like it's not very optimal the way that I do it. Tend to be a lot of copying, pasting, and hoping everything fits, and sometimes you have to readjust things because it doesn't quite work the way you want it to. I'm just checking here. Okay. Okay. Let me copy this. Keep what we don't need, what we need. See, that's... We're just trying to get the background. That's all I want from here. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And so... We'll instantiate. We'll need to set it first. So this, the first one will be pet stats panel. Yeah, that'd be fine. No, don't do that. Pet stats panels for the menu, the quick inspect one. We might even reach and rename it. Can I rename it from here? Yeah. We'll call this inspect panel. Okay. Then we'll resave this. Pet stats panel. Okay. And we're just going to duplicate it for now. We can even make this one local because we're not going to keep it for anything. All right. Wonder why that one is different. That is interesting. Unless it gets resized here, 170. Yeah. Okay. We'll change that here then. And I don't think it'll be enough though. 170. Not quite enough. That is what it is. All right. We should be able to work with that. So stats panel. We're probably going to put the pet's name, or what stats do we want? So pet name. You gave a list earlier. What'd you say? Species, gender, diet, habitat, traits, and flavor text for charm. Yeah, we don't even have genders yet, but yeah. Gender. We'll probably do that with like a little icon next to the name. We could have likes and dislikes, like for their diet. Favorite food. Yeah, then we want the attributes. We'll probably put that here. Attributes and traits. Okay. So name, gender with the little icon next to it. A list of attributes on the side here. And then we'll list the traits under it, and then we'll have like a little box here, probably double-sided. And we can have some miscellaneous stats. All right, so for that, we're going to want a VBox, label, I'm going to do an HBox, stuff that in there so we can give it a texture rect, and that's going to be our little gender icon. We can set that there. Then attributes. I wonder, pat stats panel, inspect panel. I wonder if we can just reuse this. Oh, we want to do the affinity too. So we can just copy this. We'll center this. Onto. Okay. I think we'll center this as well. Like so. Probably create a little separator here. And then we can probably just steal these. This is going to be a little different. It's going to have more detailed data, but this will get us started. And shrink that. I'm probably going to put these on the right side. We'll have another one here. Won't be a VBox. Probably just steal this one. List the traits here. We're both going to push these against each other. There. Might shrink that size down a little bit. Well, no, we probably need to force this a little bit. Or this is minimum size is too high. There we go. Or we can just get rid of this. Let it figure itself out. All right. Okay, so we have the affinity, the attributes, the traits, and then we'll have our bonus stuff here. We'll create an HBox, and this can extend the rest of the size. We might make this a scroll box, actually. And then change. Yeah, that should be fine. Let's see, how just join the stream? What have I missed? Wait, hold on, go a little higher. Yeah, I started the basic info and iterated on that. Maybe copy one widget onto the page and work from there. Yeah. What have I missed? Menu, not working on the layout for. Also, I'm an ex-Unity dev who started working on a project in Godot. What are some good tips for Godot beginners? Making up for lost time. Yeah. Had a rough start, but we got there eventually. Ex-Unity dev who started working on a project in Godot. What are some Godot tips for beginners? How long have you been working in Unity? Pro tips for Godot beginners. I'm not sure. I have been working in Godot for so long. I've been using it for over a decade now. So it's hard for me. Like, I tend to take a lot of things for granted. Or, yeah, I think that's the right way to put that. Yeah, I don't know. Been working on these about 6 months before I was using my game. Right. That's not too bad then. I would say, I don't know. Godot's a wonderful engine though. Like, I absolutely love it. It's the main thing I program in now, and like it's really easy to get started. So it's like the perfect to jump into, and then as you get better at it, like it's always impressing me. I'm able to do just about anything I want to do in it. I don't really have any issues. Agree from my foot. Yeah. So like me, I was a little skeptical when I first joined Godot, because I was like, oh, GD script, I'm about to learn another script. It's got all these nuances that I'm not familiar, that I'm not appreciative of. Like back then, there was no static typing, no semicolons and everything like that. I was like, ugh. And I'm pretty set in my ways. But like after a day of using Godot, I fell in love with it. So it's very easy to pick up. Yeah. So one tip I would say is just like learn all your nodes. There's so many of them. You will be learning about nodes, all the different nodes, probably for months to come. I use the mono build, but it still works well. Right. For GD script, or you're using C#. Right. It makes sense. I haven't used it much in C#, but yeah. That's great then. So you said it works good. And it's interesting to pick it up with that. It must have been frustrating to get set up because there's going to be so few resources on it. But then again, you're familiar with C#. I was actually I came from Unity as well, but I'd used Unity for like a year, but Unity never clicked with me. C# was all right. I came from C++, though, and so yeah, I was a little stubborn, but it's great. I don't know I don't have too much experience using C#. I've used C# in Godot a few times to do some more optimized things, but nothing too crazy. So I'm not sure exactly what the different experience would be. So the way we could relate more would probably be through the visual stuff in here. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, learning your nodes is like the big thing. There's just so many of them, and they do such useful stuff. Some of them can be confusing, and some of these are added for me because like when you create nodes, they get added into here. But there's so many nodes to learn. Yeah. All right, where was I at? Oh, let me close that. All right. Just game menu here. So we got that going. We have, let me open up the stats menu itself. Okay, so we have our scroll container, and that's what we're going to have. Generally, I find the most GD script tutorials work with C#. That's good. That's good to hear. How is the tutorial scene? Oh, you're talking. Lucy. How is the tutorial scene nowadays? I've not noticed any in a while, but I haven't really been looking for it either. See, you have to forgive me, I'm a little slow today. I stayed about not working on that video. Interesting how many people don't want to learn GDScript because they think it's some kind of unprofessional compared to C#. Yeah, that was a thing for me too. Like I originally came from my first engine was Light C, but then like as when I was, and I dabbled with that for a while, but then like I used Game Maker for a while, and like probably around when I was like 18 or so, and then I used that for a year or two, and I was like, oh, I don't feel real professional using this, and so that's why I switched to Unity, and then used that for like a year, and then I switched to Godot, and I was worried about the professionalism as well, which I think can be a valid concern depending on like what you're going for. Like it's probably harder to find work in Godot, but I don't know if that's the case nowadays. But then compared to Unity, because Unity there's probably easier to find work in Unity, but Godot's more of like a hobby thing, or like. But I mean, it's good up there now. Slay the Spire 2 was developed in Godot, so that's it's really impressive. We need a margin on this. Let me go ahead and add that. And what was that other game? There was that mining game that went really viral. It was made in Godot too. For me, it's more that I have about 4 years experience in C# and Python, which is similar to GDScript. Annoys me when I have to work with it. Alright. Dome Keeper, that's the one. Minecraft was not made in GDScript. It was remade in what did they remake it in? C#? When Microsoft got a hold of it. Dome Keeper. I never played Dome Keeper. Is it any good? It seemed interesting. Okay. And we'll probably make those smaller. And we'll add, let me go. That was C++. Yeah. If I go, if you play Dome Keeper, right? Godot is 3D too. No, I have. If you go here, here. Where is it at? Here. You can enable 3D. I've got it disabled because I never use it. That's the cool thing about Godot is you can just disable stuff. Like there's an asset library too. I never use it. Like you can download people's stuff, but I never use it, so I just got it disabled. Have a look at the PVKK trailer if you want to see what Godot 3D can be. Ooh. PVKK. What is that? That is. Is that the game that I forget who it was. That was somebody. I remember somebody made a game and they made the name like intentionally made the name really difficult to pronounce. I don't know if that's intentional or not. Kind of looks like this. It sounds familiar though. That's an interesting tactic. All right, we are here for another chess panels. I want the player panel. Player game menu. Here, this should be fun. Yeah. That's it. That's a very bold move. It seemed to work because I remember it went viral when it did that. That's how I know about it. And yeah, it doesn't seem like something I would enjoy, but like, it went viral for a while. Okay, so we got here, and we paste. All right, and this is hard coded. It's cool, so we don't have to worry about that. We are not in the scroll container. We're not in the HBox here. All right, so that's what that would look like. We should be able to open this window up and get a view for what we've got here. Like the size and everything, how it should look. Planet. I wanna look up how they pronounce it, because I would bet that would be interesting. All right, so we get our pets here, and then here. That's what that would look like. No, it won't be player name. It'll be what other miscellaneous stats we have. Okay. Eventually, I might do icons for these traits. I think that would clean up nicely. I just don't feel like drawing them right now. That would be the same for here. So we could just show the icons there. Okay. I think that looks good though. That'll be your base stats and stuff. Then over here we could have, what will we have over here? Well, like I said, we want to have the breeding partners. We could have diet. How do we want to do diet though? Maybe a nice media capture of the current pet's current. You want to frame it just to cover. Oh, that's a good idea. We could put it like we do with the like here. Some pets might be kind of big. Oh, come on. Could put it there. Or here. Yeah, that would probably be plenty. I'm not gonna make anything too big. I think the biggest would probably be like the squared size of the Borker, probably. This is probably about as big as I'm going for the pets. We can put a Borker here just to see what that looks like though. What? What do I want to put down here? Okay. Might just hard code it. What is this? Chest panel. If I add no, let's do a sprite. Let's just keep it simple. Diet would be like omnivore, carnivore. It's implied the player must give them vegetables or meat, depending on how verbose you want to go. I was thinking more like, how do we want to do the feeding? Like, do we want to the player to manually feed them, which we have that option for in the radial menu, or we could have like a food chest, and the player just puts pet food in it, and then the pets can help themselves. And then we could have like a diet, like how much food they eat daily. Whether they, like you want them to bulk up and get, and get good and healthy, you can give them a good hearty diet, or you can give them a skimpy diet. Cheesivore. That would be great. I'm gonna make a note of that. I don't typically do like really, really cheesy things, but having a pet that only eats cheese would be great. Let's see, habitat would really just be flavor text too, unless some pet stats become dependent on habitat. I don't think I'm going to worry too much about that. Maybe we'll see how when we get there. But I'm thinking like we just like you can like a Borker. This is not where the Borker belongs. The Borker belongs in the Mystic Woods, which is over here, which is not perfect. I'm still building this area. I was going to show it in the video, which is why some of it's decorated, but not all of it. But you're going to find the Borker in this area over here. And that's not like there's a cheese, like cheese heavily featured, but like by cheesy things. Yeah, what I mean is like I mean, absolutely featuring cheesy things, but like sometimes we get recommendations for like a cheese monster, or like cheese armor, or goofy things like that. Which is funny ideas. It's just not as far as I'm going to take it. But having a monster, like it's just a regular monster, but it just only eats cheese. I think that would be great. Like you could go you could go into like a little cave over here or something, and like there's like scraps of cheese hanging around the like the entrance, and then you go inside and there's just like wax shells that have been clawed the cheese out of them. But I mean, let's say you include something like diet or habitat on the left side. Does it have a purpose, or is it more for charm? I haven't considered diet that much, and I'm always thinking about functionality. If I were to include a diet, it would be for stat purposes. Let me go back to, because I do want everything to be mechanical. I don't want to add stuff just to be adding stuff. This is not an ecology. Oh, it's ecology simulation. I think that's the right word for that. So it will always, anything we do will be purpose driven. So if I were to add feeding, the idea was that it would buff stats, or like say you would want a good healthy what do they call them, steed, a good breeding mare, like just good healthy stock. You do, like if a pet's malnourished, then maybe they don't pass on their good genes, something like that. QG strict, thank you. Stud, that's the word. So yeah, so if you want to create a good breeding stud, you would want to give them lots of food and keep them healthy and that kind of thing. And health is a thing because I do want pets to potentially die, like if for one old age maybe, because like there's a one I think it's Harvest Moon Wonderful Life, like pets can, like your animals can actually die, and like they don't just get sick. They, like if they get really really sick, they can actually die. A lot of the stuff I want to do is like my love of Wonderful Life, just for how detailed a lot of that stuff was. So like animals don't just produce milk all the time. I want to have like they need to be pregnant, and then after they're pregnant they produce milk for a while, that kind of thing, like an actual detailed stuff to it. Remind me of my friends did Tamagotchi. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Maybe call that feeding function overfeed, and include the thresholds and limits info as info on the screen with a green overfeed button. Okay, so the way that is there a graveyard in the town where you could bury the dead pets? I don't think I'm going to do graveyard. And I don't think when I say die, what I want to do is have a place called the farm, right? And it's like a place where the pets go when they get really unwell or get really old. They go up to the farm, and so we can hint at it all throughout the game, and then at the end, if like maybe you get like a 30 ending, you can reunite with some of your pets from the farm, that kind of thing. Like you'll have like a ending credits scroll or whatever, like your character with your little pets that is like climbing all over you or something like that. Tamagotchis will never be S tier. Tamagotchis were the best. I don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, we're not actually killing. We're sending off to the farm, but it's going to be a bit of a joke. Okay, where are we at? Yeah, sounds good. We're about time to end the stream. A little, not too bad progress, I reckon. We got a radial menu, and we got this put up. This is not functional or anything. I just mocked it out. With this panel here, I'm thinking, like we're gonna have like a breeding partner set here, and so maybe when you interact with the when you interact with the pet, not the pet, when you interact with this, it'll pull up. Or maybe we could even display it here. We could have like little buttons here for let you toggle which pets they can breed with, and then we'll consider like a diet, like how much you want to feed them. Not really like diet as in like what they eat. That's if we want to do feeding as in like they have a stock that they pull from. We still have to figure that out. I'm not sure how I want to do that. We'll have some other things we'll figure out. That's sweet. Let's see. The farmer is a widow who's making sick pets immortal. Yeah, but the catch is they can't leave the farm or they'll die. The magic, there's like an area spell that keeps them alive so long as they're on the farm. That's actually really good. I'm gonna take a note of that. So the farm is ran by a wizard who makes animals immortal for so long as they are on the farm. They can't leave, otherwise the spell immediately ends and they die. That's really good. Interspecies breeding. I've considered it. Like I think Pokemon has egg groups or anything like that. I don't know. Possibly. It would be interesting if I did that. I don't know how Pokemon does it, but if I did that, it would be cool to get cross traits that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get. I think that would be fun. So imagine one pet naturally has a trait that any other pets don't have, but it can breed with another pet that could pass that trait on. I think that would be really cool. Too many logical loopholes and pitfalls? We could figure them out. I'm not above getting my hands dirty. Can it though? Yeah, we'll find out. But I think that's where I'm going to end the stream here. Decent progress. Happy to get up. I'm going to try to work on this more throughout the week. Creative freedom. Creative freedom. That's exactly right. The best thing about the creative freedom is I can do whatever I want. Put in as much work as I want. It's great. But yeah, thank y'all for coming to the stream. I may be doing, we've been streaming lately on the Discord server as well. So me and Skull very much appreciated when he drops by. And so if you want to see more streams, more work there, probably a few times this week I might be doing some work. Don't forget I released a video earlier today, so go check that if you haven't. Thank y'all for watching. I'll talk to you next time.